what? I didn't sing in vivo last episode. In vivo.
In vivo.
Okay.
Because it's a thing now.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Welcome. This is episode
What's
8.
goody?
So,
What's good?
you know we got to do our tagline because we're coming in with it.
Okay.
It's Akina and Britt,
On the spiritual tip.
where we talk about spiritual. Shh. Shut your mouth. It's all right. So, today we are talking about, let me start by saying this.
Yeah.
We do a lot of we've been doing heavy topics like the first 6, 7 episodes.
Like the first 7 episodes.
Like the first 6, 7 episodes were
7 of them.
heavy.
Yeah.
So it was let's lighten the mood. Let's talk about things.
Some spiritual shit.
And you know what too? With the way the world is going right now,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good conversation to have because it's there is a sadness soundtrack
Playing in the
in
background.
the background. You know that violin in
world.
Titanic and yes, there's yes. That's life
Yeah.
right now with politics,
Bombs exploding.
science. It's
Weird
like
viruses. Killer
All-
bees.
all
Remember
of
that?
it. Extinction.
Monkeys stealing DNA samples.
Climate. Did you say climate change?
No, but inflation.
Okay, so these
Them
are all
gas prices, y'all.
It's all realities. So I think that to get away from the dark, let's go into the light and let's
light.
talk about how we all find happiness in the world.
I'm with it.
So that's what episode 8 is about,
I can rock with it.
right? Finding happiness. Because even with everything going on outside, you still have your own life that may have different events going on in it.
Yeah, you can still be happy.
And you can still find ways to be happy because you have to choose. Happiness is a choice.
Happiness is definitely a choice. I 100% agree with that.
I feel like once I got older, I realized that though. I didn't realize that until I was older. That choosing to be happy is a choice you wake up in the morning and you're like, it's gonna be a good day.
No matter what happens.
I
I used to be like that too. I used to wake up and be like, it's a shitty day. Well, happiness is a choice. I'd be like, what you mean happiness is a choice?
Yeah.
It's not a choice. I'm upset right now, but it really is a mindset.
It is a mindset.
It's a mindset. It's not where you are, who you're with. It's a mindset. You can choose to be happy no matter what situation you're in. It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
You don't have to subscribe to anything.
and half full versus half empty.
Yeah.
And practicing gratitude. I think that gratitude is the beginning stone, I feel to happiness. When you're you know what? No, it may not be the perfect ideal situation, but I have life. I can eat. I have food. I have love around me.
Yeah.
I'm blessed, and that could start with your vibration for the day with when it comes to happiness. So it kind of leads to my first question where it's how would you say you define, everybody has their own definition of happiness, but how would you define happiness for yourself?
For myself. So I will say that people do have their own definitions. I like to put a little analogy in there so
Yeah.
people can understand. If I go shopping with you and you pick out a shirt that's cute,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, that's cute. I like that shirt.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily fit me.
Right.
But it's cute, right?
Mhm.
But you like it, so you buy it. I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with happiness.
Mhm.
What your happiness looks like is different for me. My happiness, I think, is peace. I'm
Yeah.
always resort back to peace. And peace is also for me a mindset.
It's
Because there could be
needed.
a whole bunch of chaos going around outside of me.
Mhm.
But as long as I'm peaceful in here, it's okay with me.
Yeah, because you're firm, you're grounded.
Yeah.
You're grounded. And yeah, that was a good answer. That was actually a good answer because it's true. Peace. Honestly, that the song, this is the peace that you cannot buy. Peace is something you really cannot buy. And
can't.
everybody has their own definitions of peace.
Mhm.
But peace, I feel is in relation to happiness. I do feel that as well.
Mhm.
So what do you personally require to have peace? So I guess you basically answered it when you said you would need peace to have happiness,
Yeah.
right?
I do need peace. I absolutely need peace. Because I've
Yeah.
lived a lot of my life without peace. And
Yeah.
I've lived in a
Oof.
lot in chaos. So
Or where you thought you had peace and you didn't realize it was not peaceful.
I knew it wasn't peace.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't peace. But I've lived a lot in chaos.
Mm.
So peace is nice now.
It is. It's that ripping and running is
What am I chasing?
once you get on the other side of that ripping and running, you're wow. This is nice. I can breathe. I have space.
Look at the waterfalls.
Thora I would never breathe again. It's very nice. And like talking about happiness is like, I feel like for me, I define it as like a euphoric feeling. So like happiness to me, like you said, is different for everybody. My happiness is having peace, yes, but that part of that peace is getting off of work, laying on my couch, and being able to turn on my TV, you know, take food out of my fridge, you know, being able to have time to like walk around and take trips or see new things. Like that brings me happiness. And
Ooh, I can add to that, you know.
Yeah.
Because I'm always ripping and running still, just because of the, you know, daily things that I have to do. So peace looks like doing nothing sometimes.
Yes, I love to do
like
nothing.
doing nothing is just so peaceful for me because I'm always doing something.
Yes, I was having a conversation with Jen the other day, and I was like, you know, I love to lay. When I grow up, I want to be a lay. Like that's it. Like I just love to do nothing. It's just so exciting.
It
for
is
me.
exciting to me. I love to go home and do nothing. I wait for it all day.
And it's like it really brings like. It just makes me giddy. I'm like a giddy ass child.
Rubbing your feet together.
Yeah,
Like
I'm like, ooh, my mouth be watering. Like, you know how you like, oh, I can't I'm about to come my Sherpa. My Sherpa's on the couch.
Put my bonnet on.
Like right now, after everything we got to do today, I'm thinking about how I'm going to be on the couch watching Force.
Take this lipstick off, put my bonnet on.
This is the piece that you cannot buy. Okay, and that is like happy. That's pure happiness to me.
Yeah.
You know, and other things too, like how you said, buying, like going shopping, that's like that brings me happiness. And although it could be fleeting, it brings me some type of happiness. If you want to talk about things, you know, just time to do things just brings me happiness. And I feel like it's so important
y'all ever
now.
had to organize your time to organize time? It's daunting. It's annoying.
Well, to find happiness too, because you run a business, right? So
I know. And then, oh, girl.
And then we do this, and then you have. We have everyday jobs because
I have
we're
to
not
block
rich
schedule
yet.
everything.
But then you have to block schedule time for your happiness.
For myself. Yeah, absolutely.
Because you find yourself, I know when I'm not exercising my everyday, like, happiness strategies, when I'm starting to feel like, oh my God, overwhelmed. Then I'm like, oh no, I have to unplug.
And don't get me wrong, my business brings me happiness too.
Definitely.
There's certain parts. I think doing anything spiritual, I'm going to add to that. Doing anything spiritual for me brings me happiness.
Always.
Like
Always.
whether it's reading or
dressing
studying,
a candle.
Or dressing a candle or even doing a reading for a client. It's nice to just be connected, I feel like. But then after that, you still got to unplug.
Yeah.
Because that can be very energy taxing too.
Yeah.
So
especially what we do, because we do a lot of transmuting and we do a lot of like talking and healing, right? And sometimes people can put their burdens on you. You know, you're not even asking for it. So you have to like learn to unplug and kind of, you know, and kind of get back to what makes you happy. And like you said, even though working does make you happy, sometimes you have to unplug from that.
yeah, I have to separate it.
So you can come back to like this world.
Yes, this 3D world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Woo. So when did you realize you weren't adding to your own happiness? And when did you decide to fix it? Like when did you realize, wow, I am not happy. I am not happy at all.
So it's funny because it's not just something that happened in the past. It can still happen to date sometimes. And it's like an ever-going process with me. And I feel like I definitely notice when I'm not happy because I'm not filling my own cup.
Yeah.
And I feel very depleted energetically. Like I just feel tired.
Yeah.
So the way I fix it is I go back to, it's going to sound funny, but I go back to like my childhood activities. I like singing. I sing a lot. I'm not great at it, but I do it. When I was little, my parents had a den downstairs in my childhood.
Oh my God, so funny.
Yeah, my childhood home, and I would perform for my couches and pillows. So I
remember
love
those
singing.
tigers? Remember those lions?
Yeah, my parents were fake bougie. They had like
We used to perform for them
porcelain
too.
tigers in the den.
So funny.
But yeah, I would sing. I do anything and moving my body. I like moving my body a lot.
Yeah,
Like I'll do
heavy on
yoga
that.
in my living room.
Actually, I feel like to start like increasing my happiness, like that's something I need to take on more is like doing classes and stuff. And like just doing it. But I feel like sometimes with your schedule, it's so full. So that's something I want to do for this new year. Like, all right, Kina, you say you want to do this. You say you want to go to yoga class. You want to do Pilates. You say you want to do pole. Just do it. Mm-hmm. You want to you like being active, so just do it. And I feel like with COVID, kind of took that away. So I feel like definitely in this year where everything kind of going back to, I'll put quote unquote normal. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely gonna do that so I could like fill up my happy cup.
I think you should,
because it'll help with the vibrations. Yeah, you know, because like I said, happiness is like constant work.
It is.
It really is. You know. So I mean, you kind of answered them. I was like, what's some intrinsic things you do? I know for me, like. Yeah. Intrinsically, like meditating, doing grounding, like going outside and just grounding is like a nice thing to do. Especially when, like, my favorite is when it's warm outside, because it's just like you just be, or even springtime when it's starting to get to like May.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you guys are like really spiritual people that are watching this, but there's something called light codes. Mm-hmm. So I'll go outside early in the morning when the sun is rising, when the sun is like not the brightest, but like it's out there. Mm-hmm. And I'll just sit in the sun and catch my vitamin D. Yeah. Something called light codes.
It actually brings up your serotonin levels. Mm-hmm. It's very good for you to do that.
It is.
In case you're wondering. And it's why some people in like different seasons, like in winter, go into like seasonal depression sometimes, because it's like a lack of, you know, sun and things like that. But
that's a real thing.
It really is. Seasonal depression is a real thing. So I did like this because I saw you said something about a CD player.
Yes.
So do you really have like a Walkman CD player? I was just really curious.
Dang, she put me on blast. That was just for my like therapeutic writing.
Is 3LW in there?
Yes. I have so many CDs,
you do?
I have Little Romeo. Hey, boo.
Girl.
I love him. I have B2K. I have all my old school
Oh my God,
favorites.
not the B2K.
Mariah Carey. I have.
This girl used to Mariah Carey and B2K.
I still love them.
No, for real, man. It's so funny. That's
they
so
still
funny.
on repeat, y'all.
Oh my God.
And then I do have my CD player. I don't use it though. I don't use my CD player because it broke. But
damn, I'm sorry to hear that.
It broke like two years ago.
Well, if you know me, you know I love to karaoke, y'all. I love to perform. The arts are for me.
Wait, pause. Because I was just talking to somebody we know a few days ago, and she was saying the same thing that I was saying. Back in the 90s and 2000s, it was like the happiest moments.
It was.
So we go back to a lot of things like that to bring our spirits up, especially in times like this. I was like, I know I'm not crazy.
It was authentic. It was so authentic.
Yeah, she watches shows from them. So yeah, and she's a mom like me.
I watch movies. Sometimes I go back and watch movies like oh my God, Curly Sue. It's just from the 90s. Like, I'll go back and watch Drop Dead Fred. Drop Dead Fred, when I went back and watched it as an adult, had so many keys about activating your inner child and going back to your inner child. And it's so crazy because it's supposed to be...
that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a kid's movie, but then I watched it because, like, that's how I am. Sometimes to be happy, I like go back to, like, 90s
your
movies.
Inner child. And it's essential.
And the things that made me happy. Like, I watch Clueless. You know, I love Clueless. It's one of my favorites. But like the arts have always been something that makes me happy, like acting, movies. You know, I grew up with a lot of entertainment stuff in my house, video games. I was just telling somebody, I'm like, I need to get a video game console in my house, like, because I'm like, that's something too that I did a lot as a kid.
You did play a lot of video games.
I did.
It wasn't my jam, but I watched you play it.
Even when your parents got you video games, I'm like, girl, I'm with it. Come on. Yeah. I would bring my games to your house sometimes. Oh my God. I mean, I was such a good, we were such gamers, me and my sisters, and I really want to get back to that because I really do love gaming. I really do. And I don't know what happened.
Life happened, girl.
Yeah, life happened. But that really made me happy.
This is 31.
It did. And like I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. Like, I was thinking about maybe for my birthday or something like that.
Let me take that back because there's still men who do it. There's men who play video games.
They do, and guess what? That's their happy time.
And that's their happy time.
And let me tell you something. I never, ever feel bad when my man or somebody, you know, that I know that's a cousin, anybody that's a man playing video games, because that's where they find their damn peace and their happiness.
It is.
It's literally, I'm going to knock you on that.
Yeah.
We key on the phone maybe with our friends. We maybe do, you know, but that's their happiness.
They like playing video games.
They don't need much. Men don't need much. So I understand that when you got the headphones on,
the headphones, yelling at the people on the other side.
Do you, boo boo? Do you?
Whatever.
Do you?
That makes you happy.
When I'm ready to come on, jump, and you know I'm gonna get it. You gonna know what's up. That's it. But have your peace, baby. Have your peace. Do what makes you happy.
Do what makes you happy.
Because I know
I'm gonna do what makes me happy.
Okay. And not only that, sometimes we could be aggy. I know. Listen, I'm a complex soul, so I already know. Like,
I know, me too.
You be a little exhausted.
I think I said this in our first episode here in relationships. I said I'm a lot.
Yeah, that's why we friends.
I could be a lot
because it's in different ways, but it's a lie sometimes.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, definitely. And you know, I think I go back to my inner child when it comes to happiness because I feel like at that time, I feel like I was really more into my imagination.
Yeah.
And like I saw myself in like sold out arenas
it was
and doing
so
things.
Carefree.
So I still take myself back to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it makes me happy. I'm so excited. I'm ready to do stuff after I like tap into those times, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think I wanted to be a lot like my father when I was younger when it comes to the singing thing because my dad was a singer back in Panama.
Yeah, he was good too. He was good at it.
Yeah, girl, he had his own album.
He was definitely good at it.
I used to take that on when I was downstairs in the den and I would just sing my little heart out. I would sing the Star Spangled Banner and I thought I was doing it. Like, I was like, I'm going to get a record deal.
You know what? You always liked it too. Like, you know, you always liked your little song and they were like, yeah. I'm like, Brittany, you ever listen to anybody that's not crying? Like, girl.
I love my songs.
So funny. Anything? What about extrinsic, like outside things that are tangible that you touch?
This is a bad habit, and I have to actually cut down on like spending money, like shopping, not spending money, but like shopping.
And everybody thinks that's so like I would think people think that's generic, but not everybody has the luxury to be like, I'm gonna go just. I deserve that.
No, but I do the little treat myself a little too much sometimes because my bank account be like, Brittany, come on now.
But do you also believe that just come back to you? Because, you know, when you...
It does.
It's that energy of giving, you know?
Money is energy, and I spend it lovingly on myself.
Yeah, and it kind of helps with
that.
And
it comes back.
And it does help with that happiness that you know what? Yeah. And it goes back to gratitude because at least, thank God I could buy it. And I'm happy that I can buy these things and, you know, appreciate myself.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, even though somebody might be like, oh, it might be fleeting, it might be for a short time, but it's still extrinsic and it still adds to your happiness.
It does. And this is kind of like off topic, but it's a good omen that I think people should try. Mm-hmm. So I have a money bowl, right? Money bowls are like good luck for bringing in money, right?
I have a money table.
So when it gets too full, because you give it to the spirits and whatnot. Yeah. And when it gets too full, I'll give it to somebody else. Yeah. I'll give it away to people who actually, or I think needs it. Or I
love that.
And it really does come back to you tenfold. It does.
I love that.
Yeah, you should try it.
I'm gonna try that. I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Good omen.
I do like that. Okay, yeah. I think, I don't know.
What do you do?
For extrinsic, I think my favorite thing is like traveling and food.
Oh, traveling. Oh, how did I miss that?
And dance, like going out to dance with my friends. Like, but a nice spot that has like hookah. Like the perfect, like my ultimate happiness if I am going to step out is like hookah, food, and drinks. And good music. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay. Traveling. I feel like you and me share that very much. Yeah, so that's traveling.
We share that together.
Traveling, it just does something to the soul.
Top tier.
I mean, you know, they say catch flights, not feelings, but you catch feelings in those flights that go to those beautiful places.
That was deep. That was spiritual.
You do. Like, catch feelings in those different areas. Like, I feel like, especially when you're feeling you're, like, in a rut, you, like, know. I feel like your spirit knows when you have to go somewhere
Get out.
Because it starts to feel like a rut. It starts to feel, like, stagnant.
Yeah,
the air feels stagnant.
State traveling is cool too, but we're talking about like international.
Yeah, like get your passport, get a stamp.
It's only $100, y'all.
Yeah, just get your passport and like just say, even if it's by yourself.
F this job. I'm taking my PTO.
On top of traveling, my nail fell off. I can't show you guys that. On top of traveling, real life. I could have got it done. Seriously, I really could have got it.
Real rap raw.
Talk about happiness. Getting my nails done is not happiness to me. It's just like a chore.
Really?
Oh my God, it's so annoying. So annoying. I love the way it looks after. But if I go like this.
And could just get it done.
What? Remember the Fifth Element when she went like, she took a picture?
Hair too.
Yeah.
I feel like anything.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. But I do like getting my eyelashes done when I do them.
That too.
Because I could fall asleep.
You know what I love doing? My pedicures. That's what I love. Because then they massage the leg and they get them. But other than that, you know, I think I got to shave, y'all. But other than that, keep it real.
This morning, my legs was cold. Yeah. I should have kept it on for the winter.
But no, getting my nails done does not, no, that's just maintenance for me.
Okay.
What makes me happy? pedicures because they massage your legs, and that's like or a spa day. I like that. But like maintenance stuff, I mean, I do it because I just like the way I look with it.
No,
But
traveling
it's
really does make me happy. You're
Yeah.
really right about that. And I'll tell you one thing. We're both going on a trip soon.
Yes, we are.
Not together, but we're separately taking our own
I'm
trips.
excited.
And I did not buy anything.
What do you mean?
I didn't buy anything for this trip. I'm taking what I got. And that is not normal for me. Like, I'll usually shop. Like you'll usually shop for like a trip, to go on vacation. I feel like this trip is more of a soul thing for me.
Okay.
And it's just gonna make me happy.
So it's
I
not
don't
about
need
that.
anything.
I feel you, girl.
I
feel
got what
that.
I need.
Yeah, I get
I
that.
got my passport. I got some clothes. I got my money, and I got my memory.
Well, you're
for
getting
experiences.
you're getting real connected. You're gonna be connected to the ground.
real connected, real
You're
respected.
connected to the area, and that's why. And guess what? That's gonna bring you happiness.
It's gonna bring me happiness.
I think people take traveling for granted, and now guys, because I know it's been a crazy 2 years, but now that things are opening, I'm hoping that you
take advantage of it.
take advantage of that time, because I think what COVID did teach us is that life is short, and like you have to find your happiness and whatever that means, and you have to make sure that your story is yours. Like I think that we are in a society where they want you to be a robot, and it's okay to not be a robot and not be in the Matrix.
I am an advocate for F that job.
Yeah,
seriously.
so.
You got to make ends meet. Listen, I get it.
Yeah,
but like your mental health and your happiness,
because that's part of your
comes
happiness
first.
It's part of your happiness.
There's a reason why at work and in your careers there's something called a mental health day.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shame.
Yeah, because that's America. It's America. It's America. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's how it works.
Take your trips. Take your PTO.
Also,
you earned it.
Activities. So people might not know this about me, but I love like batting cages, like going batting cages, being active.
I love sports.
Laser
too.
tag.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to Urban Air, there was Urban Air I went to for my nephew's birthday, and when I tell you, yeah, it's for kids, but if us adults went in there, we would. It was like, remember Discovery Zone?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you remember this? Like, it is like the ultimate have fun
I
spot.
love Urban Air.
Oh my God.
What's the other one?
Pump
that
It
I take
Up?
My son to Pump It Up.
No. When the jumping thing.
The other one.
It's a jumping one.
It's all right.
It's good though.
We'll tag it. But it's fun.
But it's little things like that.
I jump on the trampoline with him.
Yeah, it's things that, but think about it. It's like the little extrinsic things that you do that kind of like raise your vibrations.
And I want you to realize it all goes back to your inner child.
It really does. Finding your
We're
happiness.
missing our innocence now.
Finding
y'all.
your happiness goes back to like your inner child, because
It
that's the difference between like a 5-year-old and a 35-year-old. Like 35, you get up and when you're kind of like in a rut, you're getting up and you're like, I gotta take this day on. Where a 5-year-old is excited to get up because they don't know what the day is gonna bring. Maybe their mom said they're gonna go get candy. Maybe they said they're going into.
Can I tell you, my son
they have like a lust.
always brings introspection to me, because he said the other day, he was like, "Mom, I don't know if I want to get older." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You and Dad are always tired." I'm like,
oh my
wow.
God, that boy, I tell you. That boy, I tell you.
I was like, you know what? You're right. Being a kid is awesome.
It is.
It's awesome. But I feel like I wanted to be older when I was younger.
I did. I just had this conversation with my mom yesterday.
But I speak to a lot of kids these days, and they're like, I don't want to be old.
Because they have time to kind of like look and observe. And
I'm like,
I think they're more
tired,
emotionally
Dad.
intelligent. Th're more emotionally intelligent.
My son is something else.
Because that's true. When you really sit back, it's like, damn, y'all always tired. Why would I want that?
Why are you tired?
And we will be tired.
And this is coming from an active parent. We do a lot of things with him, but we still be tired.
Yeah.
I be tired.
Yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
that's so crazy that he said that. That's so
And he's
fun.
8.
Yeah. I can't.
Shout out to my boo boo.
All right. So if somebody was like trying to get to know you and they wanted to make you smile, right? Or just see you kind of just melt. What not
You
even
can't,
like
I'm a thug.
not even like Brian, we're gonna not act like that, okay? But not even like a romantic way, just it could be a friendly way. What is like something that will make you like the happiest? It doesn't even have to be that like that expensive. Just something that would make you like the
Like
happiest.
giving me something?
Anything. You know, it don't have to be that.
Okay.
But what do you? Maybe it's something you do for yourself that nobody knows.
You know what it is? I think it's like being strategic in trying to make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
So I like surprises.
Yeah.
I think when you go out of your way to surprise me or do something sweet for me, I think I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. She has submitted time about the
You know who you
plans.
are. But yeah, like when when you go out of your way to make me know that you're thinking of me or that you care,
Yeah.
I appreciate those moments. Because you don't have to.
No, you don't. You really don't. And what about something that you do for yourself that makes you like the happy, where you're like, you know what? Everybody, this is like making me like, it's about me right now.
When I unplug.
Yeah. Amen to that, girl.
Like when I leave everybody on red because I have to leave everybody on red because that's me time and I'm under the covers rubbing my feet together and just with my bonnet.
Yeah.
Like, I love
just
that.
shooting the shit.
Shooting
That's why I call
myself.
shooting the shit with
I love
yourself.
that.
Yeah.
Put on TLC.
And let it be in the
1,000 Pound
background.
Sisters.
Yeah. What? I'm done with her.
90 Day Fiance. You know,
Oh my God, it's on today.
that makes me happy.
I'm happy watch. But yeah.
Makes me happy.
Look at you, get all giddy too, right?
I know.
That's
So
like,
think about going home and doing it.
because this is literally
and doing it well.
This is the 30s, and I think too, like, I think when I was younger, happiness was like going out with your friends. Like, you know, for me, because I was mixy. So like,
You were always mixy.
yeah, happiness was like, I'm going out, I'm gonna have me a good time, come back to the daylight.
Yeah, y'all always had to move.
Yeah, you know.
You did.
And to me, I was like, oh, that's happiness. And then like, you know, the thing about Aries, what I've learned is that when Aries kind of evolve, once they're evolved, they actually don't like to leave the comfort of their home. They could be loners, right?
Okay.
And I can definitely, I'm introverted and extroverted because sometimes I just need to be alone.
That's funny because when Tauruses evolve, they're more social. They're out of their shell more.
Yeah. See, so I'm more in the house. Like I think this year was like something I was like in the house. Like I'm good.
Yeah.
Like if you guys want to come to me and like we just do something cool.
Yeah, because I just paid my rent. I gotta get my money's worth.
Yeah, but
Hello.
I think I didn't really understand the beauty of slowing down and how it adds to your happiness. Slowing down and just taking in a moment and just being quiet and nobody talk to me. Like remember when your parents would be like, "Don't talk to me for like an hour," and you'd be like, "But boy," you know, and you're like, "I want to go out," and you're like, "I need an hour," and you're like, now that I'm 31, I'm like, wow, I can't believe she had little 3 people yelling at her when she walked in the door.
Yeah, that's a lot. I'm gonna tell you a story. So
That's a
growing
lot.
up, I had a neighbor across the street, and I would always see her come home. She would drive into her driveway, and she would take forever to get out the car. And I'd be like, "Why is that woman taking so long to get out her car all the time?" I get it.
Yeah.
You know why? Because she had 5 kids,
Oh yeah, I
and a
definitely
husband to
get
feed.
that.
And I get that now. I get home, and I'm like, 2 more minutes.
Yeah,
2
definitely.
more minutes. But yeah. I used to be like, Mrs. is still in her car. It's been like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like even with me not having no family, like I've been telling my mom, like, how the hell did you even do this? And like, I think watching her, even it's crazy because even though sometimes I don't understand the way she does things or why she did things, she just tried to find her happiness, and she always looked for her happiness. And whether that meant I got to take 2 minutes and nobody talk to me, or I'm going to take this, I'm gonna take a ride, or I'm gonna go shopping by myself, or take
Well, you know what?
take yourself on a date. My mom always took herself on dates.
She did.
Always.
I remember that. You know what? She still does.
Mm-hmm.
You
To
know
this
what?
day. To this day.
Also makes me happy though? Spending time with my son. Really, I love doing things with him.
Skabunky.
Like, I like hiking with him. Like, we'll go hiking
Oh, that's so
sometimes on
cute.
Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
Or just like hanging out with him. He's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
He's cooler than I ever was.
Yeah.
And probably ever will be. He's just dope. Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, I like doing that.
See, shout out to JJ.
Love him.
That's
I
so
do.
sweet.
I
That's so
do.
sweet. Yeah. Well, if we're talking about like that. Well, then you know, girl, I like to lay up.
I like laying up too.
So
it's
I
nice.
like to lay up. But yeah, if it was like moments like that, my moments are like the raw moments, kind of like skin to skin moments are authentic for me. They make me the happiest. Like me by myself, of course, like waking up in the morning and kind of just like, oh, I don't got to do nothing.
So then what does your partner do for you that makes you happy?
Oh wow, a lot. I think my partner is just so giving, and I think he's just a person who considers and listens. he listens. He's a great listener. So
is.
the things that make me happiest is, I think, it's so many different things,
I
but
just love him so much.
yeah, so many different things. But it's just like when he hears me talk about something and he's like, oh, do you want me to do this, and this? Because he heard me say it out loud, you know. Because I'm like, oh, I got to do this, and he's like, well, do you need me to load? He's like, oh, well, I could load the dishwasher, or I could finish cleaning this. And, you know, I heard you say you need it, or it's there. Because I could be a person that is a procrastinator. So I'll dress the tub to be cleaned, and I'm gonna let that mother sucker soak for
you
3-4
soak in the tub.
hours.
How you gonna soak the tub like it's some dishes?
And he's like, I think he knows that I am like, I have to work myself up to it. And he like helps me. He just takes over, you know, instead of me working myself up. He's like, because I know you're gonna take your time.
And then complain about it.
It's those little moments where he's there for me. Like he connects the little dots. Like maybe my garbage needs to be thrown out, or, you know, maybe I'm on my way home and I'm like, dang, I gotta eat. And he's like, okay, well, I already got us food. You know, those are things that make me really happy. Like, it took time to really see that, but.
Yeah.
It's those little moments you take for granted that really make me happy, and that I know I'm loved.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm loved by I'm loved by my mom and my sisters and stuff. You know, my friends love me, but like to know that there's another outside entity that doesn't have to care about me.
Yeah.
That they do care about me.
Yeah.
So that's happy. That makes me happy.
That was a great answer. I love love.
Yeah, because you don't have to care about people.
You don't. You really mother effing don't. Because there's a lot of people who walk around here in this life who don't be caring about people.
No, they don't.
They really don't.
And it's because
it's so easy for
they're
them.
not happy, and they're you know, it's hard depending on what you come from. It's hard to find the silver lining, you know, and that kind of brings me to like my next question. It's like, you know, if you knew somebody was struggling, not granted, if you need help, you know, everybody goes to depression. If you need help, you need help. But you go get help, or you go to therapy. We're advocates for therapy. But if you knew somebody was struggling with like finding happiness, what is something that like, what would you say to them to kind of bring them out of that darkness or that funk? Because you're a light worker.
I am, but I think it depends on the situation. There's not like a one-size-fit-all answer for that. I feel like if somebody approached me with their certain situation, then they could tell me what's going on, and I can give a great... You know what? I feel like I'm great at giving advice.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm great at telling someone how to navigate through things. But it just really depends on what they're presenting me with.
Yeah. And what you can work with.
What am I working with here?
Yeah, that's true.
Because I don't want to ever sell somebody a dream.
Well, I think that's the thing when you explain to somebody about who's struggling with finding happiness. I think that oftentimes there's like this quick fix of like, it'll get better.
All right.
And it's like...
instant gratitude. No. Sometimes you really got to get even more unhappy to be happy.
And that was going to bring me to my next
some
point.
trenches sometimes.
And I feel like if somebody was to explain to me, like if I knew somebody, I would, as harsh it may sound on your ears, it's a reality.
Yeah.
And
that's why I don't want to tell people dreams. Like sometimes
there's no dream. I'm not gonna, oh, you're just gonna be. I said, just go through it. You're gonna be happy.
No.
You know. No, it's like, listen. Sometimes it gets really ugly.
Yeah, and dark and
nasty, and you lose people along the way. But there's like a light at the tunnel, as somebody used to say to me. Like there's a light at the tunnel, and like I said, if you find yourself in despair or just in a state of hopelessness, sometimes, you know, that's hard to come out of.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody who may have a bad day, or you have maybe a bad week, because you have bad times, it happens to everybody.
We're human.
But I think that when you practice gratitude, because like something my mom always said to me that I try to stick with is, when you think you have it bad, somebody always has it worse.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely,
that is something where I would be like, listen, and not to minimize your situation, it would just be like, everybody goes through some hard things, and you're not alone. And maybe your happiness may entail you bringing somebody in so you could tell them what's going on.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Happiness is a choice, and it is all about perspective. So I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was trying to give her some advice about something, and I'm going to ask you. So say, God forbid, you come home one day and I tell you, I'm so sorry, your home caught on fire and all your valuables, everything you've ever owned, you worked for, is gone. I'm sorry. How would you feel? Any answer is going to be.
It's so funny
normal.
because this book I read, The Mastery of Self, that was the first question they ask you.
What?
Yeah.
And I never read that book
It was
yet.
an exercise, and the exercise.
I didn't even read that book yet. And she's been telling me to read this book.
It's The Mastery of Self, and it asks if all of
That's
your
crazy.
things got taken away from you today, what would you find special about yourself?
That is crazy. You're mind blowing me right now because I didn't even read that book yet.
And it's funny because I wrote it out, and it made me think about.
But then.
This was like almost a year ago, actually.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then I told her versus, okay, I'm going to tell you the same scenario. You came home, your house is on fire, you've lost everything you've ever owned, but you and your family are untouched by the situation, everyone's healthy. Then how would you feel? It's probably the same answer, but there's like a conjunction.
Yeah.
Now it's, but I'm still grateful because I'm alive.
Right.
It's all about perspective.
It is about perspective. And I think that's what it comes down to. Like, it's about your perspective. And
That's really crazy that it says that.
yeah,
in the book.
it's like, because you know what? And it's funny. I feel like I read
was
it.
just a random
I felt like I
scenario.
read it at the right time because for a long time, my house, you know? And it's like, okay, that's nice. You have a nice house. But like, if the house was taken from you, who would you be? How do you still, like, who are you?
Who are you at the root?
Who are you at the root aside
Minus
from
all these material
things?
things. Exactly.
You know, who are you?
That's what happiness is. I'm gonna change my answer. That's really what the happiness is. It's who you really are foundationally and how you feel minus all these things.
all these things. The clothes,
And you have to learn how to be content
makeup.
without it.
content. And I think, like I said, going through my life, at one point I was having these like this scarcity thing of like, I gotta keep it together. And I got to a point I said, let me tell you something. I ain't about to kill myself.
No.
I'm good. I'm safe. I'm where I need to be. I'm in the present. I have people who love me. I have a mama down the street. If my house had fall down tomorrow,
You have
I'm
somewhere
good.
to go. Mm-hmm.
And guess what? I have enough character and success in myself
To build it all
to
back
build it
up.
all back up. Because when
Amen
you
to that,
die,
sis.
you don't die with these things.
No, and this is the thing. We all go in the ground.
All of
I'm
us.
sorry. I don't mean to sound so morbid, but like
mean,
at the end of the day,
It's a contrast.
we come in this world naked with nothing, and then you leave with nothing.
With nothing. So when we talk about happiness, I really think, yes, we say I asked an extrinsic question about finding happiness, and that those are quick things that may
Quick
bring up
fixes.
your little serotonin levels. But when I'm really talking about happiness, the entity of happiness, I'm explaining like what inside that you have makes you realize, okay, you know what? I'm choosing happiness and I'm good.
Ooh, and you know what
I'm
else?
taking my freedom.
Her and the singing. And another thing, I think what I take for granted, but what makes me really happy is
Yeah.
when I'm the healthiest that I am.
Oh my God.
Because I've been not healthy.
Yeah, healthy self.
and
And people take that for granted.
and people take it for granted.
Ooh, my
And
ears ringing.
and I've taken it for granted. I have definitely taken it for granted. So when I'm health is wealth. Let me just say that.
And I always say to people, like, when I used to have patients, I used to work on the floors. I used to tell patients because they'd be like, you know, you have patients who kind of get morbid because they're in the hospital. And I'm like, listen, you see a lot of different ranges of people. You can eat by yourself. You can get up and walk to the bathroom. You know, you
can
can
speak,
get
you can
on the
walk.
phone and make an order. There's people who cannot do these things.
Yeah.
You can eat and digest your food normally.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes I think in our society we equate happiness with things when it really starts with you. And being and having gratitude and just being like, wow, I'm blessed. Not saying anybody who's going through those things isn't blessed, but at least you don't have to be dealing with those things.
Yeah. There was a point in time when I woke up one day and I just couldn't walk.
Yeah. I mean, you're telling me.
I couldn't walk for over a week. And I remember going through something very dark at that time. And I'm like, wow, I never realized how much walking
Mattered.
mattered until I couldn't.
And then it made you.
And it
How's it change your
shifted
perspective?
everything.
How's your perspective change now for that?
Child, everything.
Because you take things for granted and you don't really
I
realize.
took everything for granted. And I'm just like, listen, health is wealth, and that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, health as well. And like I said, happiness, it really starts inside. It really does. As cliche as that sounds.
And I found some happiness in that time.
Yeah.
Because it was all about perspective.
And you're not gonna, of course, if you couldn't get through it, you're gonna deal with it at that moment. But you could see, like I said, the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And my ear's still ringing. Okay.
Because it's real.
So,
Because it's real.
I hope that, it's okay to be a little sad, but I hope you find happiness. Finding happiness is really important. Choosing to be happy is very important. And it helps with this monotony of this freaking world that we're living in today.
Yeah. Let's raise our vibration a little bit. Just a little bit.
Raise the cups, raise the vibrations.
Things that you can do. Music.
Definitely.
I feel like we talked about this the first episode.
We did. It was like how we went. We circle right back to it.
Right back around. Dancing.
I love to dance.
Journaling.
Definitely.
That raises your vibration.
Smells.
Being like aromatherapy raises your vibration. Foods.
Oranges. I eat when I'm feeling kind of like, so people don't, when I'm feeling like, dang, my brightness is getting kind of low because I'm fire. So I feel like, damn, maybe my fire is getting kind of low. I tap into like orange type of.
Is that why I'm so drawn to oranges lately?
Are you tapping into your fire? Yeah. Creativity. So I eat a lot of orange. I'll eat more orange things. Like I love, and it's funny because I love orange.
Spiritual shit right now.
I love oranges, but you've been having a lot of oranges around. You've been using a lot of oranges, and I thought it was funny because that has like a lot of like carnelian, like fire energy. So
abundance and stuff.
Yeah. So fruits make me fruits add to my happiness. I love eating some fresh fruit. I'm like, ooh, I feel like so I have this new phrase I've been saying, rich bitch me please.
I like that.
So
that's an energy forever.
Yeah,
that's
rich bitch me please.
Rich bitch me please.
And that's the energy that I like to walk with. That adds to the happiness. What happened?
I was gonna go back to food, but no, eating right actually raises your vibration.
Yes,
makes you feel better.
Working out. I've been working out.
Not joking.
I mean, I'm going to Jamaica, so I'm cheating a little bit, but I've been working out. I'm getting up early and doing it.
You'll cheat in Jamaica because it's worth it.
Ow! I can't wait. So, yeah, guys, find your happiness. I mean, I hope this, it's always a conversation. Our things to start conversation.
What makes you happy?
What makes you happy? Drop it in the comments.
Interaction right now.
I hope that you're practicing happiness every day. Listen, we go through a lot of shit. Choose happiness if you can.
Job, take your PTO.
Take that PTO. Get your passport.
What I said. Okay.
Go to passport. Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. And on that note, I think we good, right?
We good.
We got it all together?
Yes.
We peacing out, Cub Scouts.
Love you.